Hey everybody!
We are here today with an amazing person who has taken up cycling as an adult, but not just taken up cycling. She is totally blind and has been from birth. So I'd like to introduce you to Lizzie.
And Lacey.
Lizzie, thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me on the show today. It's great to be with you guys again.
Now you're totally blind.
Yeah, that's right. I've been totally blind since birth. I have an eye condition called septo-optic dysplasia. So this basically means that the optic nerve that connects my eyes to the brain is not fully developed. I kind of like to use the analogy that it's like a frayed television cable, if you will. So if you can imagine that, that's kind of what my optic nerve looks like.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And this is Lacey with us here.
Yeah, she's my seeing eye dog. I've had her for 9 years now. She's been with me through thick and thin, good and bad. And she's my little partner in crime.
Everybody needs a black Labrador.
Black labs matter, mate.
Black labs matter. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely they do. I have a black lab at home as well.
What's your one called?
Mine is Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Ricard.
Jimmy Ricard, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the coolest.
Yes, yeah. I named him after a song.
Wow.
Everybody needs a black lab.
Yes.
If you don't have a black lab yet, get a black lab.
You don't know what you're missing out on.
So does Lacey come riding with you?
Well, yes and no. When I'm on the road, no, she doesn't. Obviously, I've got no way of transporting a dog. But when I go out to my track training sessions on Friday evenings, I do bring her along because she can stay with my support worker in the pits while I'm cycling on the track. So she gets to see me ride. Also, when I'm on the indoor trainer at home, she loves to sit next to me. That's one of her favourite spots, is my training room. So yeah, I mean, she gets to see me ride, but unfortunately, she doesn't get to come out on the road. She's your biggest cheer squad, I'm sure. She is, and it's so good just knowing that she's there. It makes me push that little bit harder. I don't know why, but yeah.
So how did you get into riding? So maybe explain to people how you ride, because they're probably thinking you're totally blind. How does she ride a bike?
Well, actually, it's quite lucky that I'm alive. No, I'm joking, but I ride tandem bikes, which I'm a stoker, so I sit on the rear seat of the bike and I supply the power, and the pilot steers the bike, and they're essentially the eyes for me out on the road. I do have my own tandem. It's an amazing little bike. I call it the centipede.
We were talking before and you said you're not very much a sporty person, but you're now a tandem cyclist and into racing, which we'll talk about later. But how did you get to there?
I am a sporty person now, and I was as a small kid up until about high school, and then I placed a lot of emphasis on my academic achievements. I was a music scholar. I got into the Elder Conservatorium at university. Wow. So, you know, I didn't prioritise fitness. There wasn't a lot of space in my life for movement and mobility. And I actually did, as a result of that, gain a lot of weight. And I decided in 2022 that I was going to start losing weight. I got a trainer, I got a single bike. Lacey and I have always been quite active anyway. We always go on lots of hikes together. But I started going to the gym 3 times a week as well. And I met up with a lovely group of people who ride tandems, and it just blossomed from there. I love tandem cycling. I love the speed. I love going up the hills. I love the sense of achievement that it gives me. In 2013 was the first time I ever cycled, and that was on the track. I was part of a Friday night program that has just started running again. But yeah, I took a long hiatus while I got Lacey and sorted my life out, and now I'm back. What instrument did you play before? You were saying you did a lot of music before, and you were at the Elder Hall. I was a singer. Oh, right. Yeah. That's cool. Meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know you'll meet again some sunny day. That's very cool. So you went from singing to cycling. Yeah. It's an interesting change. I wouldn't have expected that one.
It's awesome.
Good on you.
And we'll go and check out your bike in a minute. But before we do, is there anything that you would like to say to other people in a similar situation who are either vision impaired or totally blind and cycling? Like any tips or advice?
I don't know about tips and advice. I don't think I'm the right person to give that, but my message would be that it's not impossible. I've always been of the belief that you can overcome any barrier that's put in front of you. And blindness or vision impairment or disability of any sort should never be a barrier to you achieving your goals and dreams. I myself might never get to be an elite athlete, but to me, that's not what matters. To me, it's about living my best and healthiest and happiest life. And I am my happiest when I'm on the bike or hiking with Lacey or in the gym. So I would say give it a go, reach out. You know, there's lots of people here in Adelaide that are willing to help. So the Central District's Cycling Club has started, as of I think it was February or March this year, a Friday night come and try session at the Velodrome. It runs every Friday night from 7:30 p.m. And we do have a few bikes floating around, so come down. I think we have a few pilots floating around as well. I'm not quite sure. But if you reach out to Dion, who's the president of the Central District Cycling Club, I'm sure that he can give you some advice and tell you where to go, and you know, you can come out and we'd love to see you there.
And I suppose just globally, there's lots of support groups and there's people out there cycling anywhere in the world. People can look up tandem cycling, and it's not just for romantic people just going out and having like a romantic ride. It's actually useful.
Whenever I've gone riding on a tandem bike, romantic is not the word that I would use. It's stressful. We're yelling at each other. We're like, right foot down, left foot down, car. We're yelling at each other because that's the only way that we can communicate, by talking to each other and saying, you know, put this foot down, put that foot down. I couldn't imagine. I find it quite stressful. I don't know about you.
I wouldn't use the word stressful, Lewis, but
okay.
you know,
what word would you use?
Exhilarating.
Exhilarating. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Sometimes a bit hair-raising, but stressful, never.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, I'll give you that. Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so Lewis is going to pilot you today. Lewis,
we'll give it my best shot.
You've done it before?
Yes, I have. Yes, it'll be interesting to see how we go because we're very different heights as well.
Yes.
And probably different. I don't know if different power output means much as well, but I suppose that we just do whatever we do anyway.
Yep.
But the height will be interesting because usually when you look at pilots, I've really only watched like the Paralympic events, but both riders are more or less the same height and the same build, same strength, that kind of thing, because they obviously work in sync. I don't know if that's just because they're the Paralympic level athletes, I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see if I fit your bike. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, actually, it's interesting you should say that because my dad and I had our own tandem and it was custom built. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but it was a Ducati made in Italy and the front was made for him and the back was made to my measurements. So my dad's 6'1".
Oh, okay.
So it was great, you know. We rode all around Adelaide on this tandem. It was such a good time, and so you know, height difference shouldn't. You know, you can get the bikes that are designed for that sort of thing. But yeah, no, don't let height difference stop you either. You know what? I love competing nationally. I love competing at the state level. I love going to all the club races. The atmosphere is great. And you know what? When you're out on the track, it's about competing with yourself, beating your best time, beating your best power. And to me, that is more thrilling than
beating other people.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I love it. Well, we should check out your bike and show everybody your centipede.
Yes.
And then have a ride on it.
Let's go.
Also, let's have a look.
Okay, cool. First, I'm going to put my jacket on because it's so cold.
Oh, man.
I might put some gloves on too.
Winter in Adelaide. And you haven't got purple gloves?
No, sadly not. I would love to get some. So if anyone knows where I can get, thanks.
I'll keep an eye out.
Cheers.
All right, so here we are with the tandem bike.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's got all these purple bits on it. You're like, purple is your favourite colour.
It is. I love purple. I've never been able to see purple, but the word purple is pretty cool. So
Purple's a fruit. That was on The Simpsons.
I like that. I've never seen it, but I've heard that it's cool, so I like it.
Oh, the word's
cool.
purple.
The word
cool,
purple.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just got such a sereneness to it.
It does.
Which is not me. I'm not serene.
It just sounds pure.
It does.
This is your bike, and this is amazing. Look at it. Like, there's like 2 seats, the handlebars, and I don't know how you ride this actually. How do you ride
Lizzie said before, it's the centipede. It's got so many legs. Look, we've got 2 pedals at the front, and then we've even got 2 pedals at the back as well. So we've got enough, obviously, for 2 separate people to ride this bike. It's actually really cool as well. Another thing that you might probably not think about until you're here as well is that the person at the front, the pilot, which today is, I think, what I'm gonna be, we'll see what happens. The pilot is the one that's in charge of the gears and the brakes and everything like that, but the derailleur is all the way at the back of the bike there. So we either have to have a really, really, really long gear cable, or, as Lizzie's bike here has, it has the electric wireless gears. So it means that the buttons here at the front are able to control what's happening with the rear derailleur all the way down at the back.
Oh my goodness, Lizzie, look at your, what cassette, how many have you got on there? I've got 42 on mine, and I thought that was a lot.
I think it's 52.
52?
Yeah, it's really good for climbing hills. Amazing for climbing hills. The lady I brought it off, it was really good at hill climbing. And actually this was all my gearing, and I just transferred it from the tandem that I had at the time to this bike, and she's fast, really fast.
That's amazing. You could go up anything on that. I thought I could go up anything. You're like, literally.
Yeah.
Being Shepherd's Hill's a bit hard, but you know, we went up the freeway yesterday, so yeah, we can get up anything.
How did you go up that koala corner, that bumpy left-hand corner halfway up?
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a bit steep there.
It is a little bit, yeah, and there's a couple of other sections there which are a bit nasty, but we get up there.
Lucky you and your pilot are strong and they can just keep going. Do you want to go for a quick bike ride?
Yeah, but it'll have to be quick because, you know, I'm a bit sore today. So.
All right, we'll be quick. It's recovery day, race day.
It is.
And you're doing it, not me, because you've done it before, and I don't want to put Lizzie in that situation where I'm on the front and...
Yeah, I don't fancy my baby getting scratched up.
So, all right, I'll be the pilot today. That's okay. I'll be controlling the gears and the brakes and the steering, and Lizzie's just going to control the power. She's just going to push the pedals really hard. I'm going to be taking it easy.
Am I?
Yeah.
I like that. Am I? Yeah. You're doing all the work.
Yeah.
He's just going to be like coasting along.
All right, I reckon let's go find a nice safe spot that we can start this bike. It's perhaps a little bit harder just to start, but once you're pedaling, it all seems to work pretty well. So I reckon let's go find a nice safe spot.
Let's do that.
And then go for a ride.
Cool.
It's also probably worth noting to all the viewers at home that this is the first time that Lizzie and I have ever ridden together. An important thing that I've found whenever I'm riding a tandem bike with someone is you have to be pretty well in sync. So you know when you're both putting the same foot down, you know that you're about to steer, you know there might be a car coming behind you, so you're doing a lot of talking. A lot of it is talking to each other, I would say. Or, no, sorry, yelling at each other a lot of the time, I think. So, yeah, there might be some talking between us, but let's give it a try.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, all right.
So right foot
Right
in.
foot on. All right.
Oh, wait, I'm not putting. Hang on.
Hang on.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. It feels like I'm pedaling a motorbike, I was saying just before. Me as the pilot on the front. And I'm looking out to try and see if there's any things that we need to avoid because steering is quite different. The wheelbase is a lot longer than normal. Now we're coming to a bit of a uphill as well. So it starts to change a bit. How about you, Lizzie? What could you explain to the viewers what it feels like riding?
With you on the front, heavy. Oh, gee, that's a hard question.
Because obviously you can't steer.
No.
So I'm not sure if that's something that you noticed.
Not really. It's not something I've ever really taken into
Going down
account.
to the right.
Yeah. Because I've never had to ride a single bike.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it just feels like that. How does it feel having your feet flipped in with someone else? We have to pedal at the same speed.
No, that's okay too. Like, you know, it kind of just feels like riding on a trainer.
Yeah, okay,
But
fair
a trainer
enough.
that moves.
Yeah, A trainer that moves, exactly. This is a tight corner.
Oh,
We'll keep going. You got it? Yeah, excellent. Oh. Right, now we're coming to a stop. Perfect. Alright, I'm unclipping both feet so I can stand up. Nice work. Alright, Serafina's gone. We've left her in the dust. She couldn't keep up running next to us. How was that?
we're just too fast for her.
We are. We're just too fast for her.
Yeah.
Excellent. Alright, we should probably find out where she's actually gone. Cool. Right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Serafina.
Woo! Found her again.
Yeah. Oh, here we are.
You made it and you didn't knock her off.
Oh, I know. How lucky are we? Yeah, we made it nice and safe.
We did.
How was that? How
Yeah,
was it?
lots of fun. It was good.
And Lewis was okay as a pilot? Would you recommend him as a pilot?
Sure.
She thought about that. She had to think. She didn't say yes straight away.
She didn't see me shaking my head.
For the right kind of stoker, I'm sure it would be perfect. Yeah.
Absolutely. For the right type of stoker, you're right. When you keep using the word stoker, do you mean the person sitting on the back? Is that
Yeah.
what you mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So you're a stoker.
Yeah.
He's a pilot.
That's right.
Yeah. So for the right you, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, this bike might just be a little bit small for him to endure long rides, but
Perhaps a little bit.
for the right stoker with the right kind of bike,
Absolutely.
Lewis is great.
Yeah.
And how did you
Thank
find?
you.
How did you find it, Lewis? Like this? Yeah, I mean,
I found it lots of fun. It was also a lot of fun being able to use the wireless electric gears. I kind of like getting to use all that fancy stuff that Lizzie's put on there as well. But I said before, and I said it when we were pedaling along before, it feels like I, the person on the front, I'm pedaling a motorbike.
It's because I'm
As
just
in-
that strong.
Okay, partly that I suppose, but even just from like a balance side of things, I mean, if the bike leans a tiny little bit, it feels like it's going to fall over, but it's not about to fall over, but it feels like it's going to fall over. So it's a steep learning curve on one of these, but I think once we got a little bit further into the ride, I started feeling a bit more comfortable, and it starts to get a little bit easier, I think, as well. Obviously, Lizzie's just a seasoned professional, so she's not worried about it, but it was a bit of a learning curve for myself. Yeah.
and so when you say it's like a motorbike, is that because Lizzie's on the back doing all the work and you're just steering it and she's like a motor?
It definitely felt easier. We said before when we were riding, are you, what did you say, working hard or hardly working? And I said,
Yeah.
you're working hard and I'm hardly working. So
I don't think that's the way it's supposed to go.
I think it's supposed to be pretty
Yeah.
even, but I'm taking it easy. I'm taking it very easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
And lots of communication, isn't it? That's the key.
The absolute key. Yeah, we're talking to each other the whole time. I'm saying, there's a bump coming up because she might not be able to see the bump that's coming up, and then that way she's able to prepare her body for that little bump that she might feel. Or what else did we see? I think I said that there's a tight left-hand corner coming up at one point.
And it wasn't that tight.
And okay. It felt scary and tight to me, but not to you, a professional. All you have to do is just hang on. It's easy for you. It felt terrifying coming into that corner for me.
So you were terrified, Lizzie wasn't.
Yeah,
and you're saying it's easy for her and not for you.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. It wasn't really that tight, but it felt scary for me at least. But just a lot of talking. That's really the trick, I suppose.
Lizzie, last time that we caught up was a couple of years ago and we filmed you and had conversations around this. There's a lot of need for pilots. So what Lewis was doing, there's not enough pilots out there from what I understand.
It's hard to keep a regular pilot, especially if they have racing commitments of their own, or work or whatever family commitments they might have. It's hard to have a regular pilot that can take you out a couple of times a week if that's what you want. So, and like even with myself, I'm constantly on the lookout for new pilots, other pilots, because my pilot isn't able to ride with me as regularly as I'd like. So we definitely have a need for more pilots.
Yeah, and I think everybody, for us who are cyclists, we can just go out cycling whenever we want. We can just get on the bike and go out cycling whenever we feel like it. But for people who are vision impaired or like Lizzie, they can't go out cycling unless they've got somebody to ride with them. So they're very limited in that way, I think. So it's, if you want to be a pilot, stick your hand up, because I think basically anybody can do it, really, can't they? I mean, I haven't had a go yet because I'm a bit nervous and Lizzie doesn't trust me with her bike. Just joking.
I think we'll definitely give it a try, but Serafina doesn't want the cameras around when she tries it though.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to be a pilot, then there's definitely a need for it, and you'll help people who want to ride and have the same passion for riding as what we do, but don't have the same opportunities all the time because they're reliant on somebody else to get out there and help them and be on the front, leading the way.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready to go grab a coffee. Do you know where the best local coffee shop is?
Yeah, one around the corner from my house.
All right,
it's
awesome.
up the hill, so I mean, it's up to you whether you want to ride up the hill or walk up the hill. I think we're best to walk up it.
It's probably safer to walk up it.
And we should bring Lacey.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, let's go. Yes, absolutely. Let's bring Lacey.
All right.
Awesome.
Coffee time. All right,
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.
Bye.
It's not impossible. I've always been of the belief that you can overcome any barrier that's put in front of you. And blindness or vision impairment or disability of any sort should never be a barrier to you achieving your goals and dreams. I myself might never get to be an elite athlete, but to me, that's not what matters. To me, it's about living my best and healthiest and happiest life. And I am my happiest when I'm on the bike or hiking with Lacey or in the gym.